Hi folks, it's Pete here from Ashton's Cars. Today showing you around our 2004 Jeep Cherokee. It's the 3.7 litre V6 Limited. So what can we tell you about it? Well, it's a bit of a beast of a thing for a start. I'll just come around this side of it quickly and show you. 3.7 litres, 201 horsepower, V6 engine. It's quite a car, this is. It's in very, very clean condition. The previous owner had this car for 14 years. He's really looked after it. Other than a couple of marks on the alloy wheels, which are just age related, the car's in really exceptional condition for its age and its mileage. Saying that, it's only done 80,000 miles, very low mileage for the year. I've got all the doors and bits open on it just to show you inside quickly, and then I'll do a bit more of a sort of good look around the car for you. But here's the interior. A little bit of cracking on this seat, but it's not really bad wear at all, to be honest with you. The other seats in the car all look like new. So there's the passenger seat, and into the back. It doesn't look like it's even ever been sat on. Really, really nice interior in the car. I'll start it up in a minute. It's got a glorious sound from that big V6 engine. Heated seats on it. Bit of a strange spec. Don't blame me, blame the Americans. They seem to spec these things up quite weirdly. So you've got a 201 horsepower V6 engine with full leather, electric adjustment on the seats. You've got heated seats from that switch there. You've got cruise control. What haven't you got? You haven't got aircon. I don't know why they don't put aircon on these as standard. So no air conditioning, never has had air conditioning and never will have air conditioning. There's no switches for it. But that does give you a good excuse to put the window down a crack and listen to the sound of that glorious V6, which I'll show you in a minute. So into the back of the car, plenty of room in it. It's a fairly big car, nowhere near the size of a Range Rover or anything like that in here, because these are a smaller vehicle, but they've still got all the luxury touches in them, and they've still got a commanding view of the road that you get in a large 4x4. So the advantage with the Cherokee over something like a Discovery or a Range Rover is it's much easier to park, because it's not really any bigger than something like a Ford Mondeo or an Insignia. Coming around to the back of the car, it's got the split tailgate design. I've got this bit up at the moment. Just open that. Inside there is a cover for the rear wheel, which is not fitted currently. Kind of looks quite good, I think, without it, but you can put it on if you want to. The car's all original and straight. There is a wire which has worked its way loose by here. It's just for the rear-heated window. I'll be getting that connected back up on it before it goes out anywhere. But the car has just come into us in this condition, and I think it looks fantastic. So I'll close this up. So what you do is just put that like so, and then you put that like so. And there we have our Jeep all closed up, and I think looking pretty special and fantastic. It's a nice colour. I like this sort of burgundy colour on it. The wheels, just to show you, they're all pretty much the same. They've got a little bit of corrosion on them, and you would expect that on a car this age. Tyres are all good. As you can see, that one's a Pirelli. There is a Cooper one on the front and a couple of Goodyears on the other side, so they're not all matching, but they are all good brands, and they've all got loads of tread on them, so I'm not quite sure. He's obviously changed them at different times. There's another Pirelli there on the back of that side, and I'm pretty sure there was a Goodyear on the front, so he's obviously changed the back ones at some point for Pirellis. But the car is very clean and tidy. The only real mark of any note on here is that there's a very light scuff on this bumper corner there, but because of the colour, it doesn't really show up, to be honest with you. The car does look as clean and tidy as they come. Not been valeted at all today. I've literally just washed this off, so whoever's had this car has really looked after it, because it's got a really glorious shine to it. There's a couple of stone chips on the front end, but what do you expect on a car that's 16, nearly 17 years old? Certainly a vehicle that I would be proud to own. It's also with a cheaper tax as well, this one. So if you were to buy a 2006 onwards Cherokee of this size with a 3.7 litre engine, it would be 580 odd pounds of tax a year. This one is just over 300 a year, so there's quite a big saving on the tax because of the age of the vehicle. It's got nice chrome bars, as you can see, on the upper and lower part of that front bumper. I think they look quite nice, more of a styling thing than anything else, but the vehicle just does look very pleasant and very well cared for. I mean, obviously whoever had this car really, really loved it to have kept it as long as they did. So let's have a little look inside it. I'm just going to jump in. Quite a nice height these are, in terms that they're not overly large and overly high, so you kind of step into them rather than having to climb and clamber into them like you do with some of the 4x4s. So what I'll do quickly is just start her up for you. So if I just zoom in on the instruments for you, if any of the lights on here do flash at all, that's purely because of the actual the vehicle, the camera rather than the vehicle. So my recording equipment doesn't always show it that well. The beep in there is purely just to remind me that I'm in a car without my seatbelt on. Being an American vehicle, they've got lots of little safety features on it. So as you can see, there's no warning lights on the dashboard, and if I'll just crack that window open a little bit like I said I would, and I'll just give it a little rev so you can hear that beautiful V6 sound. Absolutely lovely sound to it. Yet when it's driving along and when it's on idle like this, you can barely hear it on idle. It's such a smooth engine. So it's a proper 4x4 this. As you can imagine, Jeep have got a fantastic reputation for not just building luxury vehicles but building great off-roaders. So we have got 2-wheel drive, then we've got part-time 4-wheel drive. So at the moment it's just a normal rear-wheel drive car. I can put it into part-time 4-wheel drive and it'll kick it in and out of 4-wheel drive as needed. I can have full-time 4-wheel drive, and then I've also got a low ratio gearbox on this car, and that's for when it gets really, really tough off-road. I've also got auto transmission there, dead simple to use. It's just straightforward auto, traditional sort of slush box, and it's a nice lazy sort of typical American auto on this car, which I like because it's very, very smooth and it suits that big engine perfectly. As you can see, I've got a really pleasant view of the dashboard, and I've got things like cruise control on here, as I mentioned. It is well spec'd. The lack of air conditioning is a bit puzzling. You'd never see that now on a modern one, but I guess back in 2004 it wasn't high on the list of priorities for Jeep owners, so it hasn't got it. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you is it has got a trip computer, madly enough, built into the ceiling. You can't see that properly, I think, because it's flashing on my screen, but it is on a constant on here. It's just that it's a bit weird, the recording equipment. I've been running around today doing some local driving, and it's averaging 22.5 to the gallon, which is about the same as I get it on my diesel Range Rover on these sort of roads. So it's actually quite good for a big petrol engine with over 200 horsepower. And because it's not that big and it's not that heavy, it's really quick. I mean, you'll literally be able to outrun the GTI at the lights in this car. It pulls away so fast. And it's got that glorious sound when you do it. So a car that I thoroughly enjoy driving, to be honest with you. So any negatives? Not really. As long as you're not completely reliant on having air conditioning, this is the 4x4 I'd be buying. I love the colour of it. I love the way it drives. I love the way it's a little bit unusual, to be honest with you. It's a bit different from your regular sort of 4x4s. And it's not overly big. You can park it anywhere. You don't upset anyone. If you're looking for something along these lines, please give me a ring. This one's going to be available for national delivery. It'll come fully workshop inspected prior to delivery. And we're happy to take a part exchange on it. My number, if you want any more information, is 07932 873 646. Please give us a like, please subscribe to our channel, and please feel free to ring me with any queries, any questions that you've got on this car. My number, one more time, is 07932 873 646. Thanks very much for watching our little video. Please subscribe and watch some more, and hopefully we will see you very soon. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for watching.